Yeah, me and my girlfriend were just discussing about how Ozempic is really big right now, and a lot of our girlfriends and a lot of women are taking this. And I want to know, we dive into this topic, what do you think? We are in 2024, and you're a woman, I'm a woman, we all have friends, we have mothers, and how are we in 2024 and we're still, as women, falling for things that are actually toxic for us because of our desire to be lean, to be skinny? Why is that still happening right now?
That is a good question. I wish I had the answer to it. I feel like part of the problem is because it's so complex, and our desire to be desired by others, maybe not even men, but women. And
desired. I thought that was interesting you just said that, because I think anyone who's released any weight, we're like, oh, you look so good.
Yes.
We think we have to compliment, one. And two, I think sometimes our psyche is thinking, she actually looks good. So we need to reframe what actually looks good. Is it health or is it leanness? Is it happiness or is it leanness? Mm-hmm. And really looking at how we're communicating with our friends.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things that I openly will share, it's not something I'm extremely proud of, but earlier in the year, I ended up going on, I think it's Ozempic, it's the semaglutide, which is an injectable that once a week, you give yourself an injection, and what it does is it slows down the emptying of the contents of your stomach. So you're fuller longer. And I'm not proud to admit that I ended up going down that path, but I did. And when I sit and I think about why I went there, there's probably this inner part of me, for one, who always wants to, retain my youth, right? Like when I was in high school, I weighed X amount, and this is how these like glory years of when I was younger. And then there's also this wanting to keep up and seeing individuals that are my peers, and then also people who I may subconsciously look up to, like celebrities, who are all of a sudden becoming really lean.
God.
Yeah.
Crazy. And now I want to hear from you. And I'm so grateful that you're opening up about this, because so many people are taking, whether it's Ozempic or another name.
Yeah.
And if you think about the words she just said, it slows down the emptying process. That cannot be good.
No.
Like, just think about the organs and their role and their job. We're manipulating their role and their job for something that we think that we're attaining from the physical form, but what's that doing on the internal? But before we go into that, I want to ask on a personal level, like, what did you experience personally by taking that? Because you obviously are not taking anymore. What made you stop?
I felt horrible. So I knew going into it that there would be side effects, because...
Do they tell you that when you get on it?
Yep, they tell you that, and they tell you some of the things that you can do to counteract some of those side effects. But most importantly, I experienced things that you don't really necessarily hear about. So I became extremely sensitive in my body. At one point, it felt like there were, just tiny little razor blades constantly like cutting my skin open. It felt like my nervous system was on fire. Like,
whoa.
My bones felt like they were being crunched. My skin was so sensitive. And then what happened was I ended up getting adult acne, like really intense adult acne. So I would like to say, realistically, I went off because of reasons like I just knew it wasn't good for me, but I actually went off because it was making me feel miserable.
Wow.
Yeah. But hindsight, I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is around this whole women wanting to be so lean, because I have to admit, like, I just had surgery. I'm heavier than I've ever been. I'm more inflamed than I've ever been. And even knowing that I want to be this empowered woman outside of my body, that I don't identify as my body, I still find myself sometimes feeling that, like, oh, I'm not as lean as I was before. Oh my gosh, is my body gonna go back? It'll be moments. It's like a little voice, and it's so seeped in from so many years, and probably from our DNA, from our mothers to their mothers, all the way back. But I'm like asking my question, if I don't identify as my body, and I truly say that as like someone in a spiritual space, right? And then when I'm in ceremony, I don't identify as my body. Why am I worrying about it? right now. And why are we all worrying about it as women? And the only thing that I can come to is that it's the one thing that's going to keep us from our power.
Oh,
it's the
that's
one thing.
Huge.
And when I say power, I mean when you fully accept yourself and you fully go, I am no longer this body and I am stepping in my soul's evolution, that's power.
Yeah.
And that is going to change the world. And I wonder if we've been so conditioned, myself included, that if we could work on that, what would it do to open doors to everything else in our life?
Oh my gosh, it would clear space in our lives. I mean, and this, it just made me think of this question. I know both you and I have sat in many ceremonies and different types of ceremonies. When you've been in ceremony, I just am curious to know if you ever have fleeting moments of self-talk within your body. Or like for me, maybe I can give you an example. For me, I'm always thinking of my body. I'm always thinking
Even
of,
in ceremony?
No.
Oh, okay. No, you're getting to it. Okay.
But I'm always thinking of
there's always like some type of conversation.
Noise. It's a noise in the background that's always like
about your body.
Yes. About certain ways of, and I think it's conditioning and subconscious. It's definitely, you know, who knows what happens in utero with a mother as she's trying to grow a baby, and any sort of self-talk about, my gosh, my body's changing, I don't like this. And how we carry that as learning very early on from our mothers. Who knows if it's something like that or it's just a way of us watching our mothers as we grow. But it's something that's consistent noise for me. But during ceremony, it's different. And so I'm wondering about for you, if you experience any difference in your physical body
during ceremony.
Yeah.
I feel that that's why I love ceremony. And that's why I constantly imagine you're the same way, because Meg and I have been in a lot of ceremonies together. She's done probably even more ceremonies than I've ever done without me, that you've done and you've explored. And I sense that one of the many reasons, but it's one of them, that I seek out learning different forms of ceremony and participate in ceremony, not even thinking about, oh, I just like this lineage of ceremony, I'll try all sorts. It's because it feels like coming home. Oh. It feels like that I'm finally within this evolution of everything, that I am everything and nothing. And you don't think about the body. You are completely in spirit. You're completely enmeshed in earth. It feels like you're meshed in earth. And you would never look at a tree and call it ugly, or a plant or a flower. You would never they're never thinking about their size. I don't think they're thinking about their bark. They're not thinking about any of that. Therefore, you've become part of nature and ceremony. Therefore, you're not thinking about it either.
Yeah. Ugh.
You just are.
I love that. I love what you just said about nature.
That's what it feels like. Because if you think about the ceremonies we've done, we're in nature. We're on dirt, or we're amongst trees, or we're looking at the stars, or you become back to what you always were, which is come from the earth.
Yeah.
So you just heard my girlfriend share vulnerably about her experience. And I just want to say that whether you've considered this or potentially have taken this or something very similar, and you're wondering what are the side effects long term, we don't actually know. But what I do know from a very long background of nutrition and how the body works, that this does not sound sustainable nor healthy, and you have so much life to live into your 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. And there's actually, time and time again, there's been proven methods around eating healing foods and moving your body, not in a hard way, around 10 to 15 minutes a day to see radical results. No matter if you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s, you too will see results. There is a challenge, and it's called my 30-day New You Challenge. Now, it's a 100% money-back guarantee, because I can see you right now thinking, is this actually going to work for me, Danette? I've tried everything. I want you to find a way to live healthy, to live vibrant, to get results, and to get them fast. In this 30-day New You Challenge, I'm going to show you foods that you actually enjoy eating, that you get to eat up to 6 times a day. Yeah, that's right, 6 times a day. and actually lose weight. I'm gonna show you how, plus workout plans that take 10 to 15 minutes, that's it, in your own home, beginner, intermediate, advanced levels. You're gonna see results, and this is the healthy way to do it. This is the sustainable way to do it. This is gonna help you love your body, plus increase your energy and see results. I'll put the link below if you're interested, but there have been almost 1 million people around the world who have done this and seen results. I can't wait for you to see them as well.